with me is Eddie Francis.
Good morning.
All righty. So weather was a little bit better coming across the wind spans today, huh?
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was going to get pushed into the lake
Yeah, right.
because that wind was no joke, man. Yesterday,
Man,
that wind was something else,
yeah,
and I was pushing back and forth. I was watching the people in front of me kind of sway back and forth a little bit. It was
yeah,
it was too interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
like interesting,
Yeah,
not
right.
that
But not,
interesting.
not enough to say do away with my safety.
Right? No, no, definitely not.
So no race car driving for you.
No, not for me.
Yeah, yeah,
Other people didn't get that memo, but
yeah,
no,
right.
not for me.
Yeah, yeah. I actually enjoy race car driving.
Do you?
I do. I do. Yeah. Now that I've learned more about it, having lived in North Carolina, it's like,
Oh,
oh man,
oh,
big there.
yeah,
You know. But pit crew or bleachers or stands for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'll watch them
yeah,
put their lives at risk as they take part in that sport and whip around there at tremendous speeds. And I mean, they're really locked in there, but whew, no,
I, I,
not enough to let me feel safe.
I, I,
Not me.
I do have to say, I am somewhat curious about the sensation.
Yes.
I'm
Right.
curious about the sensation of just zipping around the track.
Well, I forget what you call it, but there's these simulated
Mm-hmm.
airplane rides, car rides, drives, and I think as long as I'm in a simulation and I can
Mm-hmm.
get 10 seconds in and say, "Oh, hey, stop."
Well,
I think
I tell you what my dear wife will not let me do. You know the exotic car experiences where you get
yes,
to jump in a Lamborghini and
yes,
just go.
yes.
I want to do that so
Hey,
badly.
I'm there with you. I don't know. Maybe one day when we have the opportunity, we can tell the wives that we got some boys things to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we'll do. And you know what? I tell you what. I can't remember the name of the folks who do it, but give us a call at WBOK and support the radio station, and we'll be happy to come take a drive.
Yeah, right. Well, you never know who's listening to WBOK, and in
Hey,
particular, the Good Morning Show. And speaking of Good Morning Show, man, oh man, what a show we
yeah,
got today. There's some important stuff, some interesting stuff, and if you got 2 hours, you definitely want to stay tuned today. So, just for instance, we got an election day tomorrow.
yes,
Election day tomorrow.
big day.
Been looking at talking about early voting and some of the ballots and mail ballots and for Senate District 3 and Senate District 100, the House Rep seat,
Hmm.
formerly held by Jason Hughes, now City Council member for District E, and District 3 for the Senate seat, formerly held by none other than uh, now Suno Chancellor Joe Bowie.
Hmm.
Uh, big thing because of the timing and because of look at who you're following.
Yeah,
Both
yeah.
cases, no matter who it is going to be a freshman legislator. But guess what? Folks in District 3 and District 100, um, look like only a few of y'all are going to decide who wins at this
Yeah.
point. So,
And
based on the numbers that we have seen and expect, so we're going to have a report out from our clerk, Darren Lombard, and
mhm,
from our registrar of voters, Lisa Menon Bridges, um, right here at the Good Morning Show. So
yes.
that'll be coming up soon. And so, if nothing else, listen to that so that you know about what you can do if you live in one or both of those districts. And if you have friends and family that do, you can encourage them with some of the information that you get right here on the Good Morning Show because need more people. I don't even live in the district,
Hmm.
but I know how important those two seats are.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want voters to take all things they can into consideration and get out and vote if they haven't already, because the numbers are low.
Yeah.
The numbers are low. So
Yeah.
we're going to jump into conversation with them. That'll be great. We also are going to hear from some nationally prominent authors. Uh, Two-time New York Times best-selling author Clint Smith.
Mm-hmm. You know a thing or two about him.
He's my nephew. Yeah. Very proud of him. Very proud of him. Very happy
As
for
you should
him.
be. As you should be.
And so, since you brought that up, I have other nieces and nephews who I'm proud of and happy for.
Oh, yeah, they're cool,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, right. And we also will be hearing from unimaginably strong, acclaimed historian, Annette Gordon-Reed.
Mm.
Talk about being black and being black through the years and the centuries, and knowledgeable about all things Jefferson and Monticello and more. You listen to this sister, and she doesn't need to pick up the book because she wrote the book. So that's going to be good. And of course, they are here because of the New Orleans Book Festival, which started yesterday and finished on Sunday. The New Orleans Book Festival, hosted at Tulane University, and it's an incredible, remarkable schedule, and all of that is free.
Yeah.
So anyone interested in having the time on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, that's worth checking out. And you want to hear from these folks, these talented, smart, challenging, and I say challenging in a good way, challenging our thinking folks, Clint Smith and Annette Gordon-Reed. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, we have even more for our show today, because we're going to hear from Home Bank, keeping us financially healthy. And they're going to visit with us and give us some more tips and guidelines and outlines for what you can do and what we should be doing. So that's going to be good, too. Man, it's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
Oh, and we got Dorothy Prevost lying in state at Gallia Hall today, and the funeral service tomorrow. So another big thing, and definitely want to mention that. So for those of you who are in District 3 or District 100, stay tuned momentarily. You interested in any of this, Eddie?
Oh, very interested.
Yeah?
Very interested. I've never met Mr. Smith, so
Oh, you haven't?
I've never met him. No,
Oh, wow.
So I can't wait to talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be more than a handshake. Because he's going to be here. Well, you're going to be talking with him.
Absolutely. That's
Okay.
that. I'm actually very excited about that.
Okay,
So yeah.
that's good. That's wonderful. Well, folks, I hope you all are excited too. It is 7:09 a.m. and now it's not. It's 7:10 a.m. You got somewhere to be for 7:15. You got 5 minutes, so I hope that you're close. Whatever you do, slow down. Make sure you get there. If it's a 7:15 appointment or 7:30, slow down. Make sure that you get there. Save the beard trimming, save the makeup, save the looking in the mirror to see if the eyelashes are looking okay. Save all that for your house, so that Eddie doesn't have to see you out on the highways and the byways
Not really.
trying to do that thing. And then this happened to me just yesterday. A truck was like swerving into my lane.
Mhm.
Now, in this case, I really don't think it was makeup or any beard kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think he was on his phone.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was not a little bit. It was like, whoa.
Yeah. Safe
You're
bet.
like
Safe
halfway
bet.
in my lane.
Yeah. Safe bet
So
that
please don't
they
do
want a
that.
phone. Yeah.
Please don't do that. Please. We got kiddos. We got our babies. They need to get to school. School zone speed limits are 20 miles per hour around the school. Be safe for yourself, for other drivers, the crazy ones, because I know that's not you. And watch out for the kiddos who need to take care of their business by getting to and going to school. 7:11 a.m. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. And Eddie, what's that talk line for those who want to engage with us?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right, you're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
All day long.
Late nights are made for chillin', and you can do just that every Sunday night at 10 p.m. as DJ Wick brings you The Love Zone. It's the perfect way to top off your weekend with your favorite old and new school ballads. So sit back, relax, and let DJ Wick take you to the Love Zone on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
Dana Henry is lying again. This time, he's attacking Kenya Rounds' family, falsely accusing him of being a deadbeat dad. That's not just politics. That's disgraceful. Dana Henry knows the claim isn't true, but when politicians get desperate, they try to tear down their opponent instead of telling voters the truth. And this isn't the first time Dana Henry has had to answer for misleading people. The Bureau of Governmental Research forced him to apologize after he falsely claimed they supported his Yes for Children campaign. Now he's using the same playbook again? Say anything, smear anyone, and hope voters don't notice. But voters deserve better than lies and personal attacks. Kenya Rounds is focused on the real issues: improving our schools, strengthening our neighborhoods, and fighting for working families. That's why Kenya Rounds is the only candidate endorsed by the Democratic Party, and the working men and women of the AFL-CIO reject the lies. Vote Kenya Rounds for state representative. Paid for by the Committee to Elect Kenya Rounds.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Offscript Media has its eyes on the future of content. It's a vertically integrated and creator-powered media and commerce company that views itself as a one-stop shop for someone making content. Datavio Samuels is CEO of Offscript, and he says the company is focused on content creators in social.
Yeah, look, I think that social is the number one platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible in social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them, do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I am here with my friend Eddie Francis. Happy to have you, man.
Yeah, it's good to be. It's good to be here.
Yeah, so a little better temperatures today than it was yesterday, and yesterday, frankly, was nice for this time of year. But,
Yeah.
After that shocking 81, 82 set of days, I mean, it was like, whew, but today's a bit better, so it looks like we're going to get warmer temps, so won't need as many layers, and I'm looking forward to a beautiful day.
Yep.
And speaking of beautiful, we have the beautiful, the smart, and the intelligent Lisa Maynard Bridges here. Good morning. The registrar of voters. And we have the handsome and intellectually smart data man. our clerk, Darren Lombard.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for being here. Of course, we have an election tomorrow. It's not a citywide election, so not everybody in the city can vote, but people in Senate District 3 can vote, and people in State House District 100 can vote. So we've had early voting. We still have mail ballot voting until 4:30 today, I think.
Until 4:30
Yeah.
today.
Yep, and then there's Election Day tomorrow. So, Madam Registrar, can you kick us off with what has the early voting look like in these districts? If you have it, how many people eligible, or how many people voted?
I can tell you right now about the mail-in ballots that we have. So the mail-in ballots that we mailed out was 3,513. We've received 1,072. So we have 2441 still out.
That's a lot of people.
Yes, but they have until 4:30 today, so I'm hoping we get an influx. They have to be in the office by 4:30, not postmarked. Must be in our office, and we have 2 offices, City Hall and then the Algiers Courthouse. 1300 Perdido Street is City Hall, room 1W24, and the Algiers Courthouse is 225 Morgan, room 105.
So let me just clarify: these are mail ballots.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put it in the mail today, it's not going to come.
No,
I mean,
it has to be
it's not
delivered.
gonna be processed
Correct.
in the next several hours to get there before 4:30.
Correct. It needs to be delivered to our office.
Okay, so if somebody is, I got a busy day, I don't know if I can do this. Can they have Cousin Pookie drop it off?
They can have Cousin Pookie, and Cousin Pookie can sign a paper stating he's dropping it off. He can only drop one off.
Oh, no bashing.
Yeah, he can't come with a basket of them.
Okay.
Oh, so so Pookie can't do the voter delivery service.
No.
Okay. All right.
Just give me $25. Give me a ballot.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and deliver that to the
So
city.
While you on your way down there.
I'm get on there. I'll get you. Hear me?
Okay. All right. All right. So how has early voting looked?
Very low.
Low.
Yes. Let me get the numbers for you.
Yeah.
Because, it's been super low. Some days we had 2 people voted
Wow.
at
Wait a minute.
one of our
Not
locations.
across-
No, at
but
one
even
location.
So, at
Yeah.
one location, 2 people.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it could be sad, man.
Well, and one of the things Will and I talked about yesterday, the stakes are pretty high in this election because whoever gets elected, they got to get to work on Monday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They get sworn in real quick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And get to work because the Louisiana State Legislature went into session on Monday, March 9th.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
Mr. Clerk, how things looking from your end? We've got lots of people participating and looking good for Saturday, or what?
I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I would say, and I'll say it. It's unfortunate. We always have typically in the runoff. It's a drop off from the primary, but then on top of that, in this situation, we got a special, which just came after a very active fall election season where we had the mayor on the ballot and other races. So it's usually a drop off from that. And it's, as I was telling y'all earlier, there's probably some voter fatigue involved. People kind of lose interest. And then it's not one of those races or this set of elections doesn't involve races where there's a lot of advertising and, some outreach because these are small districts, so you can walk most of them, except for the Senate district. You can walk them a couple of times during the cycle and knock on some doors. But in this case, a lot of people just aren't paying attention.
So what does a regular turnout look like, either citywide or in these districts?
Yeah, last time in 2023, most of those races didn't have any opposition, so there wasn't a whole lot going on. But in 2019, the voter turnout was like around 40%. This time, back on February 7th, it was 14%. So, it's a heck of a drop-off, and it's going to be more of a drop-off, I anticipate.
So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's likely to be less than 14%.
Yes, let's hope for more.
Okay, we'll hope for more.
We'll hope for more. We're encouraging folks to get out and vote.
We want y'all to get out and vote.
7 o'clock tomorrow morning.
But you think it will go into single digits?
It has happened. I don't like to, you and I have talked on several. I don't like to prognosticate or make predictions about it because I leave that to others because it could affect, probably in a minor way, but it could affect the turnout. If people are like, well, no, they say on the radio that nobody's showing up.
Yeah.
So I try to stay away from that.
Okay.
I'm hopeful.
Okay.
I'm optimistic.
All right. Okay. So how did early voting go procedurally, logistics? Anything different this time around, or did everything go well, but for the number of people coming in?
Everything went well. Everything went as procedure. No real hiccups or anything like that. We did have 2,415 people early vote. So that wasn't many. What? 415. So that was extremely low. But other than that, we had no issues. All the sites were manned, up and ready to roll. So, yeah.
So, and that number of early voters, that's across both of those districts?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So that's even lower, like within the districts?
Yes.
Correct.
Ooh. Yes. Okay.
So as far as tomorrow's concerned, people are, they're trying to make whatever plans they're trying to make. What time are the polls open and what time they closed?
They open at 7 a.m. They close at 8 p.m. And if for some reason, hopefully, there's a line. If you're in the line at 8 o'clock, you still can vote. By law, we have to allow people to vote if they're in line at the time of closing. So hang in there if that happens. But I'm hopeful that we'll have it lines all day.
Okay. So for those of us who don't live in the district, but we want to see a good turnout, is there anything we can do? And for those in the district who are eligible to vote, they requested a mail ballot, but they didn't use it yet, and they didn't vote. What can they do? And then for those who are in the district, one or the other or both, and they already voted, so they did their part. What can they do?
Oh, I would say call your friends and family, let them know, and remind them that there's an election tomorrow. Post your information on your social media, and just that kind of home grassroots outreach to let people know, hey, we got something going on tomorrow we need to vote on. And again, these are very important seats. I mean, these are lawmakers, so it's not what some people would consider a small seat. It's very important, especially with the legislation we got coming through now.
Yeah.
It's very, very important that people get out. And look, if you get to the polls, by the way, and you can't vote, you don't have your ID, you still can vote. You fill out a what do they call it?
Affidavit.
Affidavit of ID. You fill that out, and then they allow you to vote if they deem you qualified as a voter.
All right. And go ahead.
I would like to add, if you found your name on the inactive list,
Yeah, because
you can still vote.
38,000?
Yes. You
Yes.
can still vote.
38,000 people on the most recent inactive list.
Yes, you can
Of course,
still
that's
vote.
across the city.
Yes. Please show up to the polls. Commissioners will get the information that's missing from you, and then they'll allow you to vote.
Yeah,
So that could
a lot of people
save
think
you from being purged.
absolutely eventually, yes, because it'll come to that at some point.
Yeah, well, over time.
But a lot of people think because you're on that inactive list, you can't vote.
No,
that's not true.
Yeah.
Right.
You can vote. You just have to show up and make them aware and give them the information that they need, and then you're good again.
Okay.
Huh.
All right.
So no need to panic. Just show up.
Yeah, I mean, those are a couple of pieces of information that I think a lot of voters might be really confused on. I mean, the thing about the ID, honestly, I didn't know that
Right.
about the
you
ID.
can still vote.
Because I mean, every time I vote, I'm scrambling. I'm looking for my wallet. I'm checking, make sure everything is where it needs to be. I got my voter registration card. In which case, in my precinct in Slidell, they actually changed our location. And my wife and I were talking about, it was like, oh, it's a good thing we looked at this for the next election. But that's really good to know that if folks forget their ID, that there is a way for them to vote, and definitely is good to know that inactive doesn't mean you cannot vote.
Right.
Correct.
That's the misconception that kind of
That's
throws
huge.
people off. They go, well, I'm on the inactive list. I can't vote. I've been purged. I'm like, no.
Right.
You
Right.
show up. Show up. Give them the proper
We do not
information.
purge.
Right.
Right.
You're
Right.
not purged.
All right, so there's still time. Drop off that mail ballot before 4:30 p.m. today at one of two locations, and they are
City Hall location, which is 1300 Perdido Street, room 1W24, and the Algiers Courthouse, 225 Morgan Street, room 105.
and correct me if I'm wrong. It will be easier to park at the Algiers location,
That is true.
but be
Much
careful
easier.
where
But
you park at
at
City
City
Hall
Hall,
because
yes.
this is not a park free and vote day,
Right.
right?
It's not a
Right.
Saturday.
Correct.
Okay.
It's
All
not
right.
a free parking day.
No, yeah. So be careful about that. Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in and spending some of your time with us today, especially so early in the morning.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming in. But this is so important,
Yeah.
important
Yes.
that people know more about voting and the possibilities. And hey, we learned something today
Yeah.
about eligibility to vote and how to vote, even if you are not on there, and if you're on the inactive list. I mean, that's good information. So there's a lot more people who can vote, who haven't voted, who don't have mail-in ballots, but the polls open at 7 a.m.
7 a.m.
and close at 8.
8 p.m.
And if there is a line, you can stand there at 8 and you'll
as long
be
as it's
able
8 o'clock
to vote.
and you're in line, you have the right to vote. Cast
So
your
not
vote.
everybody listening, but all of you eligible voters in District 3 for the Senate and District 100 for the House seat, you are able to decide who will represent you. You will no longer have Jason Hughes. You will no longer have State Senator Bowie.
Nope.
And the legislative session is already underway. So
Correct.
you are choosing the person who needs to get to work
Now.
ASAP
Yeah.
on Monday.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Exactly.
thank you so much for
Well, I
joining
got
us
one more
today.
thing. I
Oh,
got
yeah,
one more
yeah,
thing.
yeah. What you got?
So Lisa and I are going to be going on a little bit of a mini tour
Oh,
to explain the congressional races and this closed party primary thing.
oh,
Yeah.
We don't wanna
that's
discuss it.
huge. We're
We
gonna have
don't
to
wanna
talk
slow
about
it
that.
down.
Yes,
Yeah.
We're
yes.
gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
Because there is so much to that, and
Yeah.
people hear closed primary,
Yeah.
whether
Right.
they're Democrat or Republican,
Mm-hmm.
they're still unclear. And then if you are no party
Right.
or independent or
Oh,
something, oh
yeah.
my
Or
goodness.
another part.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we,
right.
we don't want to get
Other.
into it too much.
Right.
We don't want to confuse
yeah,
the
right.
voters
So,
this
yeah,
time
yeah.
around.
So,
Right.
but that's related. We're definitely going to have a visit to
Yeah,
talk
we
about
definitely
that.
going to visit.
Okay, good.
And
All right.
also, let me add, those who have mail ballots right now, if they don't get a chance to mail it in, they can still go and vote. Just because you have a mail ballot doesn't
Right.
mean you can't vote in
Right.
person.
Absolutely.
We just ask that you destroy
All right.
the mail.
All right, let's boost those numbers, folks. Get those mail ballots in before 4:30 p.m. in Algiers or at City Hall. And otherwise, see you on Election Day. Well, I won't see you because I can't vote in 3 or 100. But I want to hear that you've been out there because I want to hear some tremendous numbers.
Go get that, download the Go Vote app to make sure you have all your information.
Yep.
That's another good one.
It's a great app.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can not only get your information, you can get information from anybody who may ask you anything about it. So all you got to do is put in voter information, and you can pull up everything.
Yep, wonderful. All right, look, folks, it's 7:31 a.m., and what a good conversation about voting in District 3 and District 100, but we need more people to get out there and participate. 7:32 a.m., you got to be somewhere at 7:30. You're late. All right, so you're late, so just go ahead and get there safely rather than rushing. You're not going to make it on time, so you might as well be sure you get there and be safe. And meanwhile, watch out for the babies and the kiddos who need to do their job. They need to get to school, but if they are injured or anything else, they're not going to be able to do that. So that's part of our responsibility as drivers. Make sure that the babies and the kiddos get there safe, and that includes driving 20 miles per hour or less around those schools. And no, they don't mean 23 or 25 or 29. They certainly don't mean 39, not around the schools. So shout out to the assistant principals on transportation duty. I know that's part of how you start your day. Thank you so much for taking care of the babies as you do that. Look, folks, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more about things going on in the city, in the state, in the nation, in the world. And don't forget, we got two-time New York Times best-selling author Clint Smith coming in, and we got acclaimed historian Annette Gordon-Reed coming in. And then we're going to hear from Home Bank as well. There's a lot of great more information right here on the Good Morning Show. What's that talk line number, Eddie?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
Missed a show? Want to hear that guest everyone's talking about? WBOK is now streaming on all your favorite podcast apps. Just search WBOK Media, hit download, share with a friend, and don't forget to rate your favorite shows 5 stars. Because when our voices are heard, our impact grows.
Well, Saints of God, this is Pastor David Impartan Sr. coming to you over the airways of WBOK, your favorite host of Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want to invite you to our show every Saturday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. That's Change Your Water, Change Your Mind. I want you to invite your family and friends to a broadcast that's designed to change your life, the way you think, the way you act, and what you eat. We want you to tune in every Saturday at 1 o'clock, WBOK, 12:30 a.m. See you on Saturday.
Attention teachers, the 20th annual Charter School Teacher Job Fair is Saturday, March 14th, 9 a.m. to noon at Hines Charter School in New Orleans. Dozens of public charter schools seek to hire hundreds of professional educators and school workers. Full and part-time positions available. Bring resumes. Register now. The fair is free. Go to gnocollaborative.com to pre-register, post your resume, and review vacancies. Register at gnocollaborative.com today.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It is 7:36 a.m. And welcome to the Good Morning Show. If you are just tuning in, you did miss a wonderful conversation with our clerk, Darren Lombard, and our Register of Voters, Lisa Manning Bridges. And but that's okay because it was recorded, so you can run it back. But those of you in Senate District 3 and House Rep District 100, the voting is low.
Yeah.
Low. And we had only 2,415 people who voted early. That's not a lot. And that's across both of those districts, which means those numbers are even lower per district. And you can turn in your mail ballot today before 4:30 p.m. at City Hall or in Algiers at the courthouse. And you can go out tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. To the polls, your regular polling place.
8 p.m.
Regular 8 p.m.
Yeah.
7 a.m. to 1 hour would not be time. Yeah. So 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
We're gonna have some problems if it's just an hour.
That's why I need help in the studio. 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. So we've got candidates running in each of those races. So of course, we got Kenya Rounds and Dana Henry running for the House seat. And we have Sidney Bartholomew and we have Ken Barnes running for the state Senate seat. So look up these guys. You can find the recording of the candidates forum that we did with Ken Barnes online. You can also find the vote candidates forum that is online, and that was with all four of the candidates. And there are others. So get the information you need and download the Go Vote.
Go Vote app.
Yeah.
I love that app.
Yeah.
I love it.
And that's not G-O.
Yeah. It is GEAUX. Yes.
Yes. Vote. Yeah. All right.
As I
All right.
struggle
So
with the New
we
Orleans
told you
version of
yesterday about Pulitzer Prize winning columnist, author, journalist, CNN commentator Charles Blow, who wrote a ode to New Orleans. These days, he's on a fellowship at Harvard University. He is writing his next book, and he's doing his commentary, which can get fiery at points, on CNN. And so he's been spending part of his time here in New Orleans. And for a lot of folks, you probably didn't know he lives here part-time.
He does.
You know, and so it's not when he has an event, it's like he loves the city so much that he has property here, and that's where he stays. He doesn't need to book a hotel room because he just stays at his place. And he wrote, I think, a beautiful ode to New Orleans. You might not agree with every phrase, every word, you know, but I think his heart was really in this. And Eddie is going to read that ode so you can hear it and I hope feel it as well.
I understand why so many writers have been drawn to New Orleans, Paris's American country cousin, the city by the river rising from the swamp. I understand why Tennessee Williams said of the city, here surely is the place that I was made for, if any place on this funny old world. I grew up in a small town in North Louisiana, but didn't visit New Orleans until I was in college. From the time I first set foot in the city, though, I knew I was home. I had reached the source of so much of Louisiana's culture. It felt familiar and ancestral. From then until now, I have visited often, so often that I bought a vacation house here a few years ago. I am most at home here. I sleep best here. I write best here. My soul connects to something and is released by it, simultaneously frenetic and still, like a hummingbird hovering over the pink flowers of a mimosa tree. It is magical. It is a spell. The city is in a constant state of decay, but the rot is in romance. The eye is bombarded and rewarded with endless texture, peeling paint, compromised concrete, crumbling buildings whose doorways hold 1,000 secrets. It is a city where taste and sound bespeak an innocence on authenticity and revelry, on laissez le bon temps rouler, let the good times roll. In New Orleans, life is for the living, but the line between living and the dead is beautifully blurred. All of this makes the city a magnet for indulgence and decadence, for drunken frat boys and let's get wild girls trippers. It is Las Vegas if Las Vegas were a real place and not a rootless fantasy concocted in the desert. New Orleans exists as a bubble, impervious to trend and fashion, living by its own clock and its own rules. It is otherworldly, a jewel, a testament to the human drive to happy, to dance, to laugh, and to love with relish, holding nothing back. Yeah, that is.
I like that.
It is.
In less than 400 words.
I know. I know. I like the brevity of it, definitely. But, it really is. It's so funny. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people who are not from New Orleans say New Orleans is a magical place. I actually had the pleasure of having lunch one day with UNO's president, Kathy Johnson. Mm-hmm. And she said that. Mm-hmm. And she said, I've never been any place like this. Because I asked her, I said, well, how is everything going UNO? How's everything going with you moving from Indianapolis to New Orleans? And she was like, it's a magical place. and I've actually seen her out a couple of times, just out enjoying the city. Mm-hmm. My wife, Halima's from North Carolina. She told me the same thing when we met. She said that she felt like New Orleans is a magical place. One of her best friends says the same things, who's also from Winston-Salem, that New Orleans is a magical place. And so I want to say this for us, the natives. Sometimes when you're so close to something, you don't see the magic. Mm-hmm. And I know good and well what we're all going through right now. I mean, water main breaks and all that good stuff. That frustration is there, and that's with everybody. But we should not take for granted that when people come here, something changes about them. And when people visit us, they really do feel as if they are in another world in a really good way. Of course, that's not 100% of the times. People who come here and they say, oh, I can't stand this place. It's filthy, it's this, that, and the other. But people say the same thing about New York, by the way. Mm-hmm. So there are people who say New York is a filthy place, but there are people like yours truly who loves visiting New York. But New Orleans is indeed, you lived away from New Orleans, Will. I lived away from New Orleans. And I can't tell you, when I got back home, I was so happy to be back home. Because there really is no place like this city. And so with all of our troubles, I really hope that what Blow wrote is something that people can take to heart and is something that people can take with them to try to do whatever they can do to keep the magic going.
Yeah, and you can find that online at NOLA.com today. There's been some great reaction to it, but there's been an interesting twist of reaction as well, which is how and why would we want to romanticize dysfunction?
Yeah. I lived in Dallas.
Think about that?
I lived in Dallas for 6.5 years. The most uninteresting thing about Dallas, and let me be clear, I enjoyed my time in Dallas, but the most uninteresting thing about Dallas is that they liked everything perfect. Everything. If a building looks like it's going to fall apart, they tear that thing down. A new building is up. Which is of course the safety and all that other good stuff. But one of the most interesting things that I've heard anyone say about Dallas, and actually Halima said this about Dallas, she said you can't tell what the history is in Dallas a lot of times. And so I think that's where their constant quest for perfection, like almost everybody there, they want to look perfect. And that is beautiful for them. But there was that grittiness that was just missing for me. And I say, no, I love New Orleans imperfections, because our imperfections, we have to do something about our dysfunction. I agree with that. But by the same token, I do like the fact that we do celebrate that we aren't perfect, and we embrace our imperfections. And so, yes, two things are true. We celebrate the imperfections, but we definitely want to do something about the dysfunctions. And that's something that we need to consistently work on. But I just remember being in Dallas, and I was like, I really love being in Dallas. It's a great place to live. I mean, you can smell money in Dallas, but by the same token, it was just so perfect at times that I couldn't take it. I was just like, no, give me some grit. I want to see somebody who just looks low down for a change, who just looks like that their lives just aren't completely together. And so yeah, I did appreciate that about New Orleans, because I just appreciate the fact that, and Blow brought it up in his piece, I just appreciate our authenticity. I appreciate it a lot. And part of that authenticity to me is when people don't want to call something out, a New Orleanian will. And that's because we're sitting there going, why are you acting like, you have to have it all together all the time? And then we call these imperfections out. But at the same time, we embrace our own. And so, yeah, I just, I can definitely see what he was. I can definitely see what he was feeling. I can definitely see that.
Yeah,
definitely.
I appreciate what he wrote. And,
yeah.
I'm in touch with Charles periodically, and I mean, this was not something that was like planned. It was like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write. It was in his head, in his heart.
He was inspired.
Feeling it, and it's like, I need to write this.
He was inspired,
so,
yeah.
I mean, he's got a very busy schedule writing his next book and taking care of some other things, not the least of which is being on CNN.
Yeah.
But to be struck enough to pause and say, let me write this. I love that, and I love that about our city.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, so he loves the book festival.
Yes.
And so I saw him 1 year at the book festival. I saw him the next year. And I said, what is he doing around here? He's back again?
Right.
And somebody said,
there's a reason.
And somebody said, you bought a home here. And I was like, oh, yeah, I get it. Okay, cool. He's definitely one of us now. And by the way, I do have to make this shout out that Wednesday I visited his alma mater.
Did you?
Yes, I was up at Grambling on
You were at the G?
Yeah, I was up there. Oh, the G, that if you want to put it on a shirt right now, you got to pay up.
That's right.
They got that licensing deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was very cool to be on Grambling's campus the other day. I had the opportunity to speak at an event. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, you brought it up, Mr. Francis. So we're going to take a break momentarily, and because that's actually some big HBCU news and big Grambling State University news. And there's some people who know about it, but there are a lot of people, they don't know about it. It's one of those things. It's like, what is a patent? What is a trademark?
Well, this is a big deal.
And of course, I've seen this there and there, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's yours and that's rights. But what he's talking about is there was a big decision and announcement just recently. So I'm going to put that here on the spot and talk about that after the break.
Oh, I'm happy to talk about it.
And be sure to stay tuned to the Good Morning Show, because upcoming will be two-time New York Times best-selling author Clint Smith and highly acclaimed historian and author Annette Gordon-Reed. You're going to want to stay tuned for that conversation. Where do we black folks stand as we approach America 250? All right. This is WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What you want just talking about? All day long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityInvestments.com. Offscript Media has its eyes on the future of content. It's a vertically integrated and creator-powered media and commerce company that views itself as a one-stop shop for someone making content. Datavio Samuels is CEO of Offscript, and he says the company is focused on content creators in social.
Yeah, look, I think that social is the #1 platform that matters. It's where all of the world's attention is. So often you're finding these people because they are popping or doing something really incredible in social. But when it comes to how can you help monetize them, how can you build them, do they have real proof points that they can create long-form content that can sustain attention? YouTube is that space.
Offscript is charting new territory, taking the more traditional idea of an A&R at a record label and updating it for the digital age. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Want consistent color for every job? Milo's Pro Rewards members get a 20% paint discount on future purchases after paint annual qualifying spend reaches $3,000. Plus, order eligible in-stock paint and paint supplies by 2 p.m. for free same-day delivery by 8 p.m. Improving is easy at Lowe's. Excludes spray paint and mist tints. More exclusions, terms, and conditions apply. Subject to change. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Same-day delivery valid in select zip codes. Subject to driver availability. Details at Lowe's.com/same-day delivery.
Hey WBOK family, Ron Richardson here, host of Conversations with Ron Richardson. Join me this Saturday live right here on WBOK 1230 AM, streaming worldwide on WBOK1230.com from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. as I welcome Dr. Ayana Mojica to the show. Dr. Ayana will be joining me to discuss tantric healing and helping men and women heal from sexual trauma and how mental health is affected due to this issue. Joining the conversation also will be Angie from the Sincerely Angie podcast and Miss Tanya Freeman. Please tune in, and thanks for your continued love and support. And remember, healing and recovery start with you.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
LifeCare provides valuable whole life insurance to cover final expenses such as medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance that's available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. The application process is quick and easy. You can even apply without having to undergo a medical examination. Just answer a few questions and we'll do the rest. With the average funeral cost skyrocketing to $11,000 and Social Security only paying $255, you need simple, affordable peace of mind for you and your whole family. Don't leave behind unpaid expenses that, if left unattended, will burden your family tremendously. Benefits include a guaranteed premium that will never increase, a guaranteed cash value, and a guaranteed death benefit that can never decrease. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call LifeCare at 800-571-9955. That's 800-571-9955. 800-571-9955.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. It's 7:56 a.m. You got to be somewhere at 8 a.m. Go ahead and pull those covers off of your head. Push them back closer to your waist and on down by your legs and your feet. Go ahead and put the slippers on and get your robe, get your tea or your coffee, and get ready to get to work for 8, which is going to be in 3 minutes. And you, of course, want to get there safely wherever you're going. Watch out for kiddos. School zone speed limits are in effect, 20 miles per hour until 9 a.m. Before the break, we were talking about Charles Blow's Ode to New Orleans, which we both love, and talk about that contextually. And Eddie mentioned that Charles Blow, a graduate of Grambling State University, and that he was on his alma mater's campus on Wednesday, and he mentioned the G. I'm going to leave it at that. And we got a couple of minutes before we go to the next break, and then bring on our fabulous folks talking about America 250.
Yeah, so the G from Grambling State University now is licensed. And that means that if you want to make a T-shirt for the big football weekend after Thanksgiving, and you want to slap that G on it, you are going to have to get permission. Because if you don't get permission, you're going to get a nasty letter. But here's the deal, and I wanted to read this. I found the story on the Green Bay Press Gazette. And so I really wanted to read their version of the story.
That's good.
Because if you notice, that G is the same G, Green Bay Packers, and also the University of Georgia Bulldogs. And so the story starts off, it says, and then there were 3. Grambling State University secured its federal trademark for its version of the Green Bay Packers' famous G logos. And it did point out that the 3 organizations that have licensing rights, the Green Bay Packers for their version, which is the original G, which I didn't know this. Grambling, when they adopted the G, they did it because of Willie Davis, who was a Grambling alum who played for the Packers. And they adopted that G in 1974 to honor Davis. And so Georgia got their logo approved in 1961, but Grambling has been trying to do it for a while, for decades. They tried in 1998, it didn't work out, and they finally got approval this year this month, I should say, to trademark the G. And I noticed also in Grambling's press release that they had a trademark symbol next to Gram Fam. And so, so if you, especially if you are an alumnus and you want to sell your alma mater stuff, you have to get permission to use the G. And this was part of my responsibility when I was at Dillard. I played brand police.
Yeah.
And I had to make sure people had license. And I was calling folks, and I was like, hey, you're going to get a letter.
Yeah.
I was not popular with some people.
Right. I get it. All right. So not exactly breaking, but oozing news for those of us who are HBCU alums, HBCU family, and HBCU-ish. As well.
Yeah.
That's what my wife, she didn't go to HBCU, but she considers herself HBCU.
Absolutely.
Ish.
Absolutely. So, HBCU adjacent.
Everybody likes HBCUs, whether you went there or not. But, I went to Hampton for undergraduate, and, man, every weekend, there were all kind of people coming over to our campus.
Yeah.
They didn't go to Hampton.
That's every HBCU story. Do you know how many people tried to convince me I graduated from Xavier?
Yeah, right.
They were just like, oh, I know you graduated. I saw you over there all the time. I was like, why do you think?
All right. Well, look, Eddie, we got to end this segment and take a break, because up next we have the amazing Clint Smith and the amazing and acclaimed historian Annette Gordon-Reed.
Yeah,
we're going to jump into conversation about America 250 and where we black people, where we fit in this thing, because we've had quite a history over the last 400 years, and here comes another celebration. Should we celebrate? Let's see what they have to say. 8:01 a.m. And what's that talk line, Eddie?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
You're listening to WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about
all day long.
WBOK New Orleans, home of the Good Morning Show, 7 to 9 a.m. weekdays.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Democrats are pushing back against President Trump's effort to redefine birthright citizenship. Senator Alex Padilla says the Constitution is clear.
Does it matter if your ancestry goes back to the Mayflower or if you're first gen like myself? If you were born on American soil, you're an American citizen.
The executive order issued last January is now headed to the Supreme Court with arguments set for April 1st. Former Vice President Kamala Harris has canceled several stops on her California book tour, including events in Sacramento, Anaheim, and San Diego, because of a scheduling conflict. The cancellations come amid growing questions about the cost and staffing of her taxpayer-funded security detail from the California Highway Patrol. And the Obama Foundation is seeking nearly 100 volunteers to serve as ambassadors at the new Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. To volunteer, visit obama.org/volunteer. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show right here on WBOK 1230 a.m. We appreciate you all spending whatever length of time you spend with us today, the full 2 hours or 10 or 15 minutes. But I tell you what, the segment we're getting into, you're going to want to be with us for the next half hour. You're not going to want to start listening and say, I got to go. Nope. So if you do that, you're going to want to put it in your ear as you take your walk, or you're going to want to pop it on your radio, or you're going to pop it on YouTube channel or Facebook Live. But please, just put it on your seat. Don't try to watch. Even though this is radio, you can watch these days, and so we can't see you. But hey, y'all, appreciate y'all being out there. I am Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis, and most importantly, we have two-time New York Times best-selling author Clint Smith in the house, and highly acclaimed author and historian Annette Gordon-Reed with us today. And I could go on for probably 10 minutes on each of you all as a part of the introduction, but I want to get to the meat.
Yes.
I want to get to the meat. So good morning, Clint.
Good morning.
Welcome to WBOK.
It's good to be here.
You've been on the air before, but that was a call. First time on in the station on the campus, right?
First time.
Okay, and have you been to WBOK before?
I have not. Not
Well,
had the pleasure.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So welcome to WBOK, and I'll say on behalf of the president, who I was just in touch with, Renaud Verret, welcome to Xavier University as well. All right, so we have a big anniversary coming up, America 250, 250 years of this nation, this country, the United States of America. And as we build up, we're seeing all kinds of events and comments and things lining up. Let me cut to the chase. we black people, we've had a heck of a history. There's no question that there's been some great progress. But if you look at 200 to 400 years, oh my, what we're going through now, I'm not sure it's a comparison to what some of our folks went through in so many ways. But we're still not anywhere close to where I think we should be. But do I celebrate with America 250? And how should we be looking at this between now and the big day in July?
It's tough. We're in a weird moment at this time. It's sort of ironic to have this 250th anniversary when things seem to be falling apart, where there's retrenchment against progress that we thought was advancing America. And we've seen this as black people. We've seen it very often. There are steps forward and then there are steps backwards. And we're in a point now where there are people who want to take us back. So do we celebrate? I think we celebrate with hope, the hope that our ancestors and people, our mothers and fathers, wanted for the country as a form of progress. But it's a little hard given the circumstances we're in right now. What do you think, Clint?
No, I agree. It's I think you have to hold both of the realities of our history and of our sort of contemporary situation at the same time. I mean, it is unquestionable, that our community has made progress since we arrived on these shores collectively, and also, part of celebrating the Black experience and what it means to be a Black American is celebrating both our history as the descendants of enslaved people, but also those of us who are immigrants more recently to the country. My children are the descendants of enslaved Africans, and they are also the descendants of people who came from Nigeria 1 generation ago. And so for me, it feels important that they're able to hold both of those things alongside one another, and recognize that all of those, thinking about the Black experience are the Black immigrant experience, the Black experience of those who are the descendants of enslaved people. All of that makes up the sort of ecosystem of Black life here. All of that is valuable. All of that is deeply important. And all of that deserves to be lifted up and celebrated while acknowledging simultaneously the difficult moment that we find ourselves in. I mean, we have a government that is explicitly trying to reconstitute Jim Crow. And, that would have sounded hyperbolic to me a few years ago. That would have been like, Clint, you can't say something like that on the radio. But I'm struck by how explicit and direct and unapologetic this administration has been in trying to collectively hinder, erase, obfuscate the progress of Black people in this country.
It's sort of the open embrace of white nationalism. You can see in the immigration policy, I mean, it's almost as if they wish it were us that they could get rid of. And I think some of the fervor in it, it's like a stalking horse for that desire that has been here from the very beginning of the founding. We sort of existed, Clint says, of the sort of duality that we have here, that on one hand and on the other hand, but the notion that Blacks really are not a part of this country and don't deserve to be a part of this country is sort of open now. That's sort of the policy that people want to promote. And it's come by so quickly. You would think that it would take time, but this has been almost in the blink of an eye that people have accepted that notion, and policy has been put in place to try to make that a reality.
One of the things that I've been very interested in is the internal conversation in Black America. And I'm always struck by the "we haven't done enough" narrative that some Black folks have. What are your thoughts about the thought that we have not done enough, and and also keeping in mind when people say things, when they start to compare us to other communities, why can't we do it like the Jewish community? Why can't we do it like the Asian community? What are your thoughts with that? I'll start with you.
Well, the Asian community and the Jewish community are different than the Black community. They don't have the history that we have here. And all of this grows out of, as a historian, we argued this grows out of where we've been. And you have to look at where we've been to understand where we are. And so it's a very different trajectory. But I understand the impatience. I mean, at one level, you don't want to be self-satisfied. You want people to strive and to do better, but you really do have to realize that totally different contexts and circumstances for the different groups.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to take a break because it's a radio station and it's not a nonprofit. So we got to take breaks every now and then. So when we come back, we want to get your answer to that comment, that question, Clint. All right, we are at 8:11 a.m., so there's still time that our kiddos and our babies need to get to school. That's their job today, get to school and get that education. But they can't do it if you are not a safe driver. So if you got 3 minutes to get there, it's 8:12. You need to get there at 8:15. Be safe, folks. I know you're not one of the crazy drivers, but watch out for yourself. Make sure you get to where you need to go, and watch out for the crazy drivers so you can avoid them and help them get where they need to go. But of all things that you do as you're driving those vehicles, make sure our babies and our kiddos get to school. Shout out to the bus drivers who are out there transporting a bunch of them to school. Eddie, what's that talk line number?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
You're listening to WBOK, 12:30 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
New Orleans, are you ready for a voice that says what you're thinking? Who that, you might ask? Arrington Gavin. That's right, I'm your guy, host of The Arrington Gavin Show, giving you so much filled with bold opinions, real conversations, and zero sugarcoating. We're going to be diving into the issues that matter, politics, pop culture, and all the above, unfiltered and unafraid. Catch The Arrington Gavin Show weeknights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., Monday through Fridays, right here on WBOK, What New Orleans is talking about.
Dana Henry is lying again. This time, he's attacking Kenya Rounds' family, falsely accusing him of being a deadbeat dad. That's not just politics. That's disgraceful. Dana Henry knows the claim isn't true, but when politicians get desperate, they try to tear down their opponent instead of telling voters the truth. And this isn't the first time Dana Henry has had to answer for misleading people. The Bureau of Governmental Research forced him to apologize after he falsely claimed they supported his Yes for Children campaign. Now he's using the same playbook again? Say anything, smear anyone, and hope voters don't notice. But voters deserve better than lies and personal attacks. Kenya Rounds is focused on the real issues: improving our schools, strengthening our neighborhoods, and fighting for working families. That's why Kenya Rounds is the only candidate endorsed by the Democratic Party, and the working men and women of the AFL-CIO reject the lies. Vote Kenya Rounds for state representative. Paid for by the committee to elect Kenya Rounds.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I am Will Sutton, and I'm here with Eddie Francis.
Hello.
We are in conversation with historian Annette Gordon-Reed and author and journalist, Atlantic Magazine journalist. Not just any journalism. I mean, the Atlantic, there are people that would like to get a piece in the Atlantic, and you work there. Pretty nice, nephew. Pretty nice.
All right. All right. I was like, okay, man. I mean, what you trying to do to your nephew, man?
I'm giving him props. Someone saying the Mid-Atlantic. And it is a wonderful thing. People go and just visit Harvard just to be on the campus.
Yeah.
And you work there. It's like...
That's
Full
true.
professor.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no easy thing. As you know, from being on a number of campuses, universities, there are a lot of people who are called professor.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
they're not full professors.
Full professors
Full
a whole
university
different deal.
professor. It's a big deal right
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we were talking about America 250 and kind of where we are, and Dr. Annette gave her view on that last point. Can you give what's on your mind?
No, I think that Annette's absolutely right. I mean, we can both look to other communities as for inspiration, as an example of what tactics, what things might be possible, what it might look like for us to work collectively in specific contexts to advance the cause of our people. But at the same time, I mean, you never want to get into a like whose history is harder, whose history is worse kind of oppression.
Yeah, that's
Olympics
what I
kind
hear
of
a
thing.
lot of.
Yeah, but just our history particularly in an American context is so distinct and has to be understood as very distinct from any other immigrant community in this country or any other group of people who come from historically marginalized or oppressed backgrounds. I mean, 250 some odd years of slavery in this country, and slavery's only not existed for 160 years, right? So you have an institution that existed for almost a century longer than it didn't. An institution in which there are people alive today who knew, who loved, who were raised by people who were born into chattel slavery, right? Like my grandfather's grandfather was enslaved. The woman who opened the National Museum of African American History and Culture in 2016 was the daughter of a man who was born into slavery. So the idea that anyone would suggest that history has nothing to do with the contemporary landscape of inequality, the idea that somebody would suggest that it has nothing to do with the world we live in today and the inequality that Black people experience today is being morally and intellectually disingenuous. We have to account for that past. We don't have to be tethered by that past. We don't have to be limited and held back by that past, but we have to meaningfully acknowledge the fact that is different than any other community in this country. And to me, it is remarkable what Black people have done. I think we don't give ourselves enough credit.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
It's a long way. We've come a very long way through perseverance and faith and so forth. And you're right. I mean, I feel that you want to go further, but I just marvel at the things that people did under almost unimaginable circumstances. My grandparents lived in a town where Black people had to be indoors after dark. That people could just attack them and they would have no recourse. And voting, obviously, the strictures that were placed upon that. I mean, and we've come out of that to some, to agree. There's still problems, but it's just an unimaginable journey that we've been on. It's an amazing journey we've been on.
So you mentioned approaching this America 250 with hope. There will be celebrations, recognitions, other things connected to that as we get closer, more and more activities and events, things to watch, listen to, attend. With that hope, how close can we get to all of us Black folks going to the event and waving the American flag and saying, hallelujah, this is a wonderful day? How close can we get to that versus saying, I'm not going to go to any of it?
You want to start?
I think, Black patriotism has always been complicated. I'm finishing a book about World War II memory right now, and the book begins by thinking about my grandfather, your father's brother, Uncle Lawrence, going, and he was 19 years old. He went to boot camp at Camp Shelby in Mississippi, and was living in a town, before that where, a town of 1,200 people, multiple people had been lynched. I mean, and went to fight for a country, went to fight fascism in Europe for a country that was actively attempting to kill him and the people around him, and doing nothing to prevent it from being done. And so, to me, it's remarkable that somebody like Uncle Lawrence and that so many other thousands of black men, millions of black men and women, have fought for a country that is so often not fought for them. And I think you can think about that in the specific military context, but you also can think about it in a civilian context. Like we give so much to a country that is often trying to take things away from us. And so it makes sense that for a lot of folks, there's a kind of why would I celebrate this place that's been trying to keep me down, that's trying to keep my ancestors down? And, the thing that I try to teach my kids, who are 8 and 7, is that we have to understand this history. We have to take seriously this history, because if you don't teach our kids this history, then they'll misunderstand why our world looks the way that it does today. So you have to understand the history of slavery. You have to understand the history of Jim Crow. You have to understand the history of mass incarceration. But you also have to understand that your history is not singularly defined by that. You also have to understand that the possibilities for your life are more expansive, are more vast than they're as vast as your imagination will allow them to be. And so this is a country that has taken a lot away, but also is, as much as they've given my grandfather, your father is an example of what this country also gives to people and the possibilities afforded to people, that a little black boy from Mississippi who comes from nothing can rise up and become a university president and have buildings named after him and create change the landscape of higher ed for black people in Mississippi in a way that hadn't been done before. Like that, it's all of that, right? And so we recognize what America can give us, and we also recognize what America has taken away. And as we do with all things in our lives and in understanding this country, we just hold both of those things together.
You have to. I think you do it. One of the reasons I wanted to be a historian and I write about slavery is to honor the people who came before, who persevered, so that I could be here, so you could be here, and you recognize the things that are wrong and the ways we have to improve, how far we have to come. But you do, at the same time, celebrate the progress that has been made and look forward to the future for your kids. I could fall into being totally pessimistic about all of them, but I have kids, and I want them to have a future. And seeing what the country can offer, taking those things and trying to make them better for people is what I think we have to do. So if you can wave a flag, on July 4th or whatever, wave a flag on Juneteenth as well, do it in honor of the people who hoped themselves that they would come out of their situation and that life would be better for their children.
And the thing that I think about related to this all the time is that, first enslaved people came to British colonies that would become the United States in 1619. Slavery didn't end formally until 1865. But from the moment enslaved people arrived on these shores, they were fighting for freedom. Mm-hmm. They were fighting for emancipation. Mm-hmm. They were fighting for liberation. What that also means is that the vast majority of people who fought for freedom never got a chance to experience it for themselves. But they fought for it anyway because they knew that someday someone would. And I think all the time about how my life is only possible, how my children's lives are only possible because of generations of people who fought for something they knew they might never see, but who fought for it anyway because they knew that someday somebody would. And I think what responsibility then does that bestow upon me, right? To try to build the sort of world, a better world that I might not see myself, that my kids might not see themselves, that their kids might not see themselves, but to work toward building it anyway, because that's what people have done for us, that we are only all sitting in this room because of the work, the tireless work that other people did on our behalf.
And to know what we've done for this country. Right. I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking about music, art, literature, our example. One of the most moving things I experienced was being in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and seeing the murals of Frederick Douglass and other black people, because they relate their struggle to our struggle. We are an example to the world. We're unique in the world. I mean, we're brought here and, cut off from our roots in a way, but we've made something here. We've helped to build this country, not just physically, but culturally and socially and all of it. So the contributions we've made make us Americans. We are what Americans are.
So you all were a part of a wonderful conversation on opening night at the New Orleans Book Festival at McAllister auditorium at Tulane University. At one point, Ken Burns talked about something he does annually with his family that had been reading of the Declaration of Independence, and how one of his daughters, a daughter, resisted, and he decided to add Frederick Douglass's "What to the slave is the 4th of July," which if y'all haven't read this, I mean, you really do need to read this. And I think that's a part of what puts America 250 in context. So now that family reads both of those on July 4th. So here's my question. What do you think you'll be doing on June 19th of this year? And what do you think you'll be doing on July 4th of this year? Where will your head be? And if you decided what you'll be doing, great. If not, what do you think you might consider?
Excuse me. We try to use Juneteenth every year as an opportunity to listen to speeches of certain Black folks. We've listened to speeches from Dr. King. We've listened to speeches from Malcolm X. We've listened to speeches from we've read the work of Ida B. Wells. It's so important for me to introduce my kids to this stuff early because I felt like I wish I had been introduced to. I wish I knew more about our collective history when I was younger than I did growing up. And for me, my kids, what I want them to do is to be able to look and understand that the reason one part of New Orleans looks one way and another part of New Orleans looks another way is not because of the people in those communities, but because of what's been done to those communities or what's been taken from those communities generation after generation after generation. So we try to give them the tools with which to more fully understand that. And like we've been saying, like to understand that America is a place that's done a lot of good. And America is a place that's hurt a lot of people. And we just have to hold those two
America
things.
250 this year, July 4th?
I'll probably have some hot dogs. And just try to do my small part, within my family, within my community, within my work to try to, make the world just a little bit better, a little bit more informed than it was otherwise.
Dr. Gordon Reed?
Well, I'm going to have knee surgery on the 17th of June. So the 19th of June, I will probably still be in the hospital. But I will.
You'll be resting.
I'll be resting. I will be resting and making sure I have some red soda water and some barbecue and, sort of ritual foods that you eat on Juneteenth because I'm from Texas. I'm a native Texan. And on July 4th, I will have a hot dog and celebrate as well.
And we should say that Annette Gordon Reed wrote the book on Juneteenth called Juneteenth. So what you should do is buy that book and,
Thank you for the little
read
plug.
it. Read it on Juneteenth.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
There you go.
Nice one.
And there we go.
Very short.
All right. Wonderful. Great conversation, which we had more time, but thank you so much for coming in today to the Good Morning Show right here at WBOK 1230 AM. Of course, both of you are here for the New Orleans Book Festival.
Please come out.
And people may not have caught the opening night program, but it's been recorded, so people will be able to see it. Do you have anything today or the next day?
We have an event today.
We have an event today, 11:30. I'm the moderator with Amani Perry and Charles Blow.
Yeah, and then we'll be signing books after. But the truly, if you haven't come to the New Orleans Book Festival, it is amazing. I mean, it's only been around 5 years, and what has been built here is really one of the best book festivals in the world.
It's the perfect place for it.
It's amazing. All these authors are like, "Oh, you want me to come to New Orleans? I'll come." So it's and the event, as far as I understand, is free. It's free for everyone. So please come, even if you can just pop in for one panel.
That one panel might be yours at 11:30 a.m. today.
McAllister Auditorium.
Yeah, McAllister Auditorium. So that'll be Clint Smith, Imani Perry, Annette Gordon Reed, the moderator, Charles Blow. All right. So we got a break. And we'll be coming back. And when we do, we're going to be talking with our good brother, Kevin Lester, from Home Bank, talking about how to keep us financially fit right here on the Good Morning Show. Mr. Eddie, what's that phone number?
It is 504-582-9422, 582-9422.
And this is WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
All day long.
That's right. It's party time each and every Sunday night at 7 p.m. on WBOK. It's the Throwback Throwdown with DJ Wick as he brings you the best in old school from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the early 2Ks. Plus, the party goes to another level at 9 p.m. with the Throwback Throwdown Party Mix to round out the night. It's the Throwback Throwdown Sunday nights at 7 p.m. on WBOK and on the World Wide Web at WBOK1230.com.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called, and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-311-5977. That's 800-311-5977. 800-311-5977.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
The Ron Kelly Show. Real talk, bold truth. Tune in for your weekly dose of unapologetic conversations that don't dodge the truth or dilute the message. Stay informed on the issues that matter most on The Ron Kelly Show, every Monday at 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 a.m.
Good morning, wake up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK. Good morning, New Orleans, and welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I'm Will Sutton. I'm here with Eddie Francis, and what a great conversation about America 250 and where we black folks fit, or do we? So Dr. Gordon Reed said, sure, we can celebrate with hope, not that we've made all the progress that we have. And my nephew Clint Spence essentially said, let's be people and acknowledge what's done, but let's not do it without the context of what was done and what needs to be done. So
Pretty good conversation.
It was an excellent conversation.
We could go on for another hour with
Yeah,
that. You know?
could have been an entire
but
show.
for those of you all who are available, they're going to have a panel over at the New Orleans Book Festival at 11:30 a.m. at the McAllister Auditorium. If you haven't been over there in a while, it can be difficult to find a place to park.
Yeah,
so don't show up at 11:20.
Work about an hour ahead and get ready to park maybe 2 blocks away
or more.
2 or more blocks.
Yep. Because then there's the standing in line part.
Right. Then you gotta stand,
people who are trying to get in to see one or more or all of them.
Yeah.
So there are lines.
Yeah.
So you can't just walk in. There are lines. So keep that in mind. But it'd be a good panel. I'm looking forward to it. Hope I'm able to do that as I multitask with the other work. So look here. We are happy to have back with us once again our friend Kevin Lester from Home Bank.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. And I'm Will Sutton, and I'm with Eddie Francis. Kevin, how you doing?
Doing good. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Sutton. Good morning, Mr. Francis.
All right, you can call me Eddie. He's
Eddie.
Mr. Sutton.
He's Mr. Sutton.
Yeah,
you can say Will.
He's earned it.
You can say Will. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not in a classroom at a PWI where you need to say Professor Sutton. All right, HBCU or anywhere like that. So, Home Bank. What you got going on? Let's talk about getting started with banking.
Let's do it.
And why banking matters.
Absolutely. First, just a little housekeeping. Home Bank is a member FDIC and an equal housing lender member. So just want to say that. It really is a pleasure.
I pause
sure.
on that?
Absolutely.
Because every time you come, you do that. It's such an ingrained thing for you. But I know at Home Bank it means way more than these few words. Can you just take a couple of minutes to say why that's important? There are different kinds of institutions, financial institutions.
Yes.
But what you said actually says something.
Yeah.
Explain to the people.
Absolutely. So the FDIC part is the Federal Depository Insurance Corporation, or FDIC. Not every financial institution provides that service. When your banking institution displays that and says that they are a FDIC member, equal housing lender, they are agreeing to essentially a contract between the financial institution and the government as a whole. And the benefit of that agreement is we're doing business in our communities. And the government, in turns, honors that with insurance as a safety net should anything change in the markets or industry that cause banks in times past to kind of go under. So FDIC insurance is critical. It's important. It's insurance, as we all know, even though across all spaces, all spectrums, whether car insurance, life insurance, on and on and on. Renter's insurance, all of those things are safety nets for us for when your industry goes through their ups and downs. So FDIC insurance is something we're proud of and that we agree to be good stewards of our community dollars.
Great. Wonderful.
I appreciate the question.
Hey, sometimes we'll say something that we're just so used to saying.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, what does that really mean? Because we haven't paused.
Yeah.
Not that I want to do this every time you come, but, I want people to understand what that means.
Yes.
Because especially with these financial institutions that I realize technology has changed things.
Come on, Will.
All, but, these online things where they're financial institutions, or are they?
Yeah.
And they're things that sound really good, but there's no backing. There are no guidelines. They have some guidelines, but they're not the same guidelines that you all have.
Yes.
So I just want people to understand a little bit more.
It's a great question, and I've never been asked that, so thank you for that. Also, too, as you were just going through that, another benefit to saying you're offering FDIC insurance that also says that a part of the requirement and the contract between the two is that you are a CRA, or a Community Reinvestment Act. That's the federal regulation that all of those institutions have. So that's actually the department that I lead and I head at Home Bank. That's the, again, Community Reinvestment Act. And in a nutshell, what that says and what it means is that the technical definition is that we are encouraged to give back and reinvest in our communities in ways that that are specific to your community. How I describe it is it's the bank's keeping an open communication with their community about their needs. So I prefer that definition because that makes more sense as to what this department kind of handles. So every bank that offers that FDIC insurance, they have a Community Reinvestment Act department. It could be called something else. Each bank kind of labels it a little bit different. Could be a community affairs officer,
corporate social responsibility.
Yes, absolutely. So that to me, that is another of many arms of our financial institutions that really don't get utilized till its full capacity. So we've at Home Bank, we're on an assignment to make sure that all communities survive, make sure they're all educated. So just listening to your last conversation, how spirited that it is, it speaks volumes to this platform here. I say this all the time to Will, that when the community needs to know, they tune in to WBOK, and it is vetted. They know that who they're listening to. The voices that are coming from this platform is again vetted, trusted, and they can take it to the bank, as we say at Home Bank.
Hey,
let's do it. Come on.
All right. So let's jump into. You hear the word bank account.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people have bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
There are different kinds of bank accounts.
Right.
And there still are people who don't have a bank account, but they could. Let's start with that.
Will. This is my first visit for the 2026 year, and for you to say that you're picking up on where we left off in 2025.
Yeah.
Okay, so Will and everyone listening, we all know we had some homework to do, and that homework was, if you did not have a banking institution that you would have, at least you would consider it, you would do some research, and then you want to start the year off with not only just a bank that you vetted for you, but you were committing to doing and opening up a checking account, a savings, and a retirement. Retirement can be on the job, but you needed to start there. But the basics is a checking account, a savings account, and a retirement account. And the reason for that is, one, checking and savings are both instruments that you can safely put your money in. But on another layer of that is, it's who you're choosing to do that business with. So good listening, Will.
Hey, I'm into that 7th decade, but I still got enough brain cells to capture something now and then.
Yeah.
So, but one of the things that's beneficial with this relationship is, because you come back, we can build on some of the previous conversations and information.
Will. So my administrator and I was having this conversation coming down. So I office in Baton Rouge, and I cover community development for Home Bank. We're in 3 states, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. And so we were just talking about the importance of really building a relationship with a bank. Technology has just made it more convenient that we are, we can check balances and all of that now just, with the click of a button. That's banking. I don't want to get in trouble and say that's not banking. That's not the way I grew up knowing banking, but that is a form of banking. But real banking is that relationship that you have with your banker. So we always talk about all of the different things in our life that we have checkpoints on, whether it's a mental check, whether it's a wellness check on us, where we're going to do self-care and getting haircuts and all of these checkpoints. Spiritual checkpoint, going to church on Sundays. Where is your financial institution checkpoint for you? How often? Don't just rely solely on the app. All of those things are good, but they are built and intended to be a source of convenience. But relationships is true banking. You don't want to show up into your institution when we have a crisis or when we hit a hard time, and then you're having to educate, or your banker is having to learn who you are, learn the type of business that you have. So we really encourage everybody to do traditional banking, building that relationship and getting to know your banker. They should know who you are when you come in. If they don't call you by name, one, you at the wrong bank. Two, that just says you haven't been there enough, and they don't really know who you are, your story, the line of work that you lead. Therefore, they won't be able to respond to the best that they can should you change that behavior and come inside.
Yeah. So in talking about people having a bank account, I have to find this out. Do you still have a lot of people who say things like, "I don't trust a bank. I just keep all my money under the mattress"? And I mean, because I've had people joke about that.
Yeah.
And they say, "You know what? I'm taking all my money out of the bank. I'm going to put it under the mattress. I don't trust anybody. It's too much risk. There's too much that." Do you still experience that?
So I haven't personally had that. Those are stories that I hear. Yeah. I've been in banking 21 years. My grandparents kind of share those stories about living through the financial crisis or growing up from their parents kind of going through that. That's something that's a trauma that we really continue to kind of deal with and earn that trust, which is why it's important that the bank that you are with, their presence, their reputation is something that is tangible to you. Are they in your schools teaching your kids and supporting your kids through financial literacy and financial education? Do you see them on the weekends out in your community supporting affordable housing and what we call sweat equity and giving back in that way? Or do they show, in other ways, do they show up in any capacity for college day or in those different forms? That's where you see a bank really is putting top of mind that community first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for anybody who is listening and they have a friend who is saying that, what are the advantages that folks need to communicate to their friends and their family about having a bank account?
So I kind of break them, address those needs in different segments. So let's say if you're a entrepreneur and you have we can break that into two. So one, you have person A that's wanting to start their business, and the person B is an established business owner. Mm-hmm. Those are two different conversations. Person A that is beginning and needing to get started, there needs to be some basic set that is understanding credit, how it works, understanding getting that relationship banker familiar with your line of work, again, so that they kind of know your peak seasons, when it makes sense to scale back or if it's time to scale up. Then person B, an established person that is running a business, having that check-in, help providing that literacy that helps them understand the importance of really either paying invoices, what it means to utilize a line of credit and a business line of credit in the correct way. For us, we tend to use credit because credit cards or lines of credit because it's really our first chance at touching capital. Mm-hmm. And we tend to use it for things that are not business related, if it is a business line of credit or business capital line. So banks want to see that you're utilizing it in the correct way.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, let's talk some more about banking generally and home bank in particular. Let's talk about how essential banking and bank accounts and at least these three, the checking, the savings, and the retirement, where they fit with your banking and look at banking needs. That'll be after our break. We've got one caller on the line. Eddie, what's that phone number?
It is 504-582-9422, 504-582-9422.
All right, you're listening to WBOK 1230 AM, What New Orleans is talking about all day long.
On Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, here's a snippet of some of what we cover. GPS pioneer Gladys West.
We worked long hours computing trajectory orbits and satellite orbits, trying to get the data and everything correct enough.
Auto analyst Mark Bland.
14 new vehicle deals that happen in this country out of every 100 that women don't have a fingerprint on.
To tune in, check out Auto Trends with JeffCars.com, Saturdays at 4 p.m. on WBOK, what New Orleans is talking about.
Welcome to Chemical of the Month from the Community Scientist and Rise St. James. This month's focus is polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, formed when fuels like oil, gas, wood, or trash are burned. These chemicals can enter the air we breathe and settle into our soil and water. Many PAHs are known carcinogens, adding to the health burdens faced by communities living near industry. Learn how to protect your health at risestjames.org.
Dana Henry is lying again. This time, he's attacking Kenya Rounds' family, falsely accusing him of being a deadbeat dad. That's not just politics. That's disgraceful. Dana Henry knows the claim isn't true, but when politicians get desperate, they try to tear down their opponent instead of telling voters the truth. And this isn't the first time Dana Henry has had to answer for misleading people. The Bureau of Governmental Research forced him to apologize after he falsely claimed they supported his Yes for Children campaign. Now he's using the same playbook again? Say anything, smear anyone, and hope voters don't notice. But voters deserve better than lies and personal attacks. Kenya Rounds is focused on the real issues: improving our schools, strengthening our neighborhoods, and fighting for working families. That's why Kenya Rounds is the only candidate endorsed by the Democratic Party, and the working men and women of the AFL-CIO reject the lies. Vote Kenya Rounds for state representative. Paid for by the committee to elect Kenya Rounds.
Good morning, Wake Up. The Good Morning Show. Good morning. On WBOK.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, New Orleans. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. We're in conversation with our friend Kelvin Luster from Home Bank, and I'm Will Sutton, and with me is Eddie Francis. So let's pick up where we left off and talk about banking. And you mentioned a checking account, a savings account, and a retirement account.
Mm-hmm.
So some people just want to know that their money's going to be safe.
Yeah.
With somebody they can trust, with an institution they can trust, that is FDIC backed. And,
That's right.
You know, all of that, and that's what they want to know.
Yeah.
But there are different parts to banking, and some places you put your money, and I'll exaggerate for the moment, it's going to get 0.0001 interest, and others you get 0.1, and others you can get 0.3, and so forth.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between checking and savings and other areas where people can bank with Home Bank?
So on the basic level of it, I'll say so. Checking account is more fluid. It's the account that allows you to put money in, and of course money goes out by way of either what we call ACHs, which are automatic debits and credits, writing checks and so forth. You can initiate those transactions as well from your cell phone. Savings is an intentional instrument. So if you are putting funds in your savings, you are essentially saying, this is an amount that I am necessarily discretionary. It's going here for it to work for me. So for that, the benefit of that intentionality is us as an institution paying you for sitting those funds in that account. So it's almost like a form of retirement because you are basically saying I'm investing in my future that's ahead of me. So I just want to set something there. But what I always away from that, it is really the behavior. Finance is really 80%. It's 80% behavior and 20% knowledge. It really is.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
We do. What I've learned truly is that we're needing to unlearn behaviors. Financial literacy is unlearning what we have come to know to be financial literacy. If you grew up and your experience is on payday, the check came in and funds went out and everything is gone, that's a behavior that you lived, you experienced, and but that's not financial literacy. That it's really establishing the behaviors. It's naming where you say the dollars are going to go before you get the paycheck. And in that naming of those or telling your dollars where it's going, are you separating for yourself? That's where we forget that we didn't put something to the side for savings, for retirement. And I know life is hard. And we recognize that we're not shy to that. We understand the cost of what it takes to be an entrepreneur, what it costs to run your house, and we're not trying to cross those lines. But what we want everyone to know is education is power. We don't want people just to sit on the side and just admire or see a picture of someone else that appears to be financially well off. But understanding why their situation looks that way is due mostly 80% to behavior. It is planning for what we call fun times, fun trips, vacations, and so forth. It is not just being reactive to the news that came in and said, I got a deal on some type of car. If I trade in, I go and get this. It is planning for those future activities and purchases.
All right. So if we set aside the retirement part, it should be for the longer term, for later, not the Christmas point, but should you have more money in checking or savings?
I would say every situation, eventually you will see it be more in savings, because to me, checking is more operational. Again, you're putting so much there to be able to pay bills and live. And then savings is something that you would see over time with that good behavior outgrow what's in a checking account.
All right. Well, thank you, Kevin Lester.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Lester from Home Bank. We're going to take a call from Brother Mims before we get out of here. Real quick, Brother Mims, you're on with Will Sutton and Eddie Francis. What you got? Brother Mims? Okay. Well, we're going to move on. Sorry we missed you. We're going to have to close out the show because we got to make way for the front porch.
Yep.
We got a full day of programming here at WBOK. Thank you for joining us at the Good Morning Show. Right up next is the front porch. And then we'll have Tavis Smiley and, of course, Gerard Stevens with the reality check. Don't forget, we got the Dorothy Prevost viewing at Lion State at Gallery Hall today from 11 to 3. And the funeral services are tomorrow. I wrote something about Dorothy Prevost and that era and some things that you probably don't know. And so that should be online today and in the paper on Sunday. We got to get out of here, Eddie. It's WBOK 1230 a.m. what New Orleans is talking about all day long.